Alright, good morning everybody. It is Tuesday, March 31st, 2026. We're going to do a video for you guys today. I know I didn't do one last week, and I'll try to touch on a few of the reasons why I kind of took a week-long break from doing them. Suffice to say, running out of things to talk about and show you, and where we're going to go today is where we went yesterday and a few times last week, is doing the Hazelton run. And there's nothing really scenic about that run, and it's only a 15-minute ride from well to plant and from plant to well. So there's not a whole lot to show you, not a whole lot to talk about, and just kind of a boring run. So it's kind of hard to video on them. So but we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. But I just got my paperwork done, so all I gotta do is put the other camera in the windshield, and then we'll be ready to roll. Alright, so we're rolling out 895 to 309, gonna hook a right, head on up to Tamacqua. We're gonna get our first one out of Tamacqua, run that up the hill to Hazelton, and then the rest of the day we will be bouncing back and forth from Hazleton to Hazelton. And so like here, there's open spaces and green grass and farmland and things like that, and we have that same kind of scenery along with some hills and things like that if we go to Redding, Allentown, or Fogelsville. The Hazelton run, once we get done with Tamacqua, there's really nothing to look at. You got Interstate 81, you've got the road back to the well, which is just lined with trees. There's really, the homes are tucked into the woods, you really can't see anything. Then you've got 924, which is just the main route through the industrial park, so there's really no visual beauty to the run at all. So it's kind of hard to film in that respect. And then, like I said, it's only 15 minutes ride each direction, and the rest of the time is spent loading and unloading. And then there's the redundancy of it, because like today we've got this one from Tamacqua, and then we have 5 of them out of Hazelton for a total of 6 loads. So it's just kind of hard to video on days like this, but I'm getting more and more of them, so I figured I would do one today, because I didn't do one last week. But going forward, I don't know how many videos I'm going to do unless I get back onto the Fogelsvilles, the Reddings, the Allentowns, and the occasional Lansdales. So let's see, that guy's making a left. That guy behind him making a left, so we can come out. So yes, the runs are kind of the same thing on a daily basis, going to Allentown, Redding, or Fogelsville, but at least you've got farmland and setback houses on nice properties and hills and mountains and things like that. But the Hazelton run is just a blah. And as far as doing the video work, and as you know, I love showing the scenery as much as I like talking about the weather and trucking and what I'm doing. In fact, the scenery kind of takes center stage as far as I'm concerned, because that's the whole idea, is to show the beauty of the world around us in my videos. So I don't know, the greening up of spring, as you can see, a lot of the grass is getting green down here in the lower lands. Up there, not so much. So, but anyway, when we get up to the well, we'll talk to you a little bit more. I don't think anybody's going to be in there when we get there. Alright, so we're here loading, and we have a very mild morning. Right now it is 61 degrees. 9:15 a.m. it is 61 degrees, so very mild morning. And I may be overdressed for today, especially if the sun comes out. It's gonna warm it up probably into the mid to upper 70s. I got the hoodie, which is all I need for the most part, but I still have a t-shirt plus a thin thermal shirt on underneath it, and that's only because I'm going up to Hazelton, which is always colder than down here or Allentown. And like I said, I don't know if it's going to stay cloudy or if it's going to get sunny. If it stays cloudy, it's probably only going to stay in the mid to upper 60s, which will be comfortable with the long sleeves. But if the sun comes out, then I'm going to be a little bit warm, maybe even up there, I don't know. But with Hazleton being colder and a little bit different climate, I err on the side of caution and dress a little warmer than I might need to. If I was going to Reading or Allentown or Fogelsville, I probably would have this hoodie and just the t-shirt on and not the thermal undershirt. So we will see how the weather plays out, but this week is supposed to generally be mild except for Thursday. We might get a backdoor cold front that's gonna come through. It might be a little cloudy and a little chilly, you know, maybe low 50s on Thursday, but mostly in the 70s today, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then next week it might cool down a little bit. But we got a nice week coming up. Rain chances, but a nice week coming up temperature-wise. So anyway, we're going to finish up here, and then we'll talk to you more on the way up. All right, so we are ready to roll. We are loaded, everything put away, and we are ready to roll. I do some hat cam footage for you today. I want to show you Tamacqua with the hat cam. Let's just try and change things up a little bit from the normal routine. I'm still going to use the other camera at times, but we'll do some hat cam stuff for you too as we move about our day. And I'm thinking the way I'm going to do this is I'll video going up there, and I'll video going out to the well, maybe back to the plant, but then I'm going to skip the middle loads and then video the last one of the day, and then coming back down home at the end of the day. Because like I said, the Hazelton is a bit redundant and there's not really much to look at. So if something interesting happens, then maybe I'll turn the camera on, but otherwise probably just the first and the last of the Hazelton loads is what I'm going to shoot for you guys. Alright, so here we are in Tamacqua. We'll give you a true point of view look at what it's like to drive through Tamacqua with hat cam. Doesn't look like there's a lot of traffic here right now, but it is off hours. School already started, rush hour is kind of over, and believe it or not, in this little town still gets a rush hour. Between all the commuters that work either up in Hazleton or down in Allentown, plus the school traffic, it gets pretty jammed up in here between 7 and 9, but it's 9:45 now, so it's not so bad. And sometimes we can roll both these lights green, but today it looks like we're going to get at least this one red. 5 points up there is red at the moment, so we might be able to roll that one on green once this one turns, and there it goes, it turns. So that one should be green. Boy, see, not the truck wants to always start out in 4th gear, even loaded, and I set it for performance, but I forgot to back it off 1 gear. And it takes forever to get going because I really believe the computer isn't set up right, and it's starting it out 1 gear too high for the conditions. It's 4th gear is fine when it's empty, but not so much when it's loaded. And usually I remember to do that, but I said it has economy mode and it has performance mode. And usually I set it for performance mode when I'm going to be stopping and starting a lot or pulling a hill, but I leave it in economy mode otherwise. But so I turned it over to performance mode, but forgot to back it off a gear. So anyway, like I said, not much traffic in here today, which is a good thing. Tomorrow there will be. Wednesday is hometown auction day, which is basically a big farmer's market / flea market. And the traffic doubles. Even all day long, the traffic is kind of like rush hour. Now let's see. Here we should come to a stop here. It should be long enough of a red. Where is it going to default? Yep, 4th gear again. So we're going to drop it down to 3rd and see if we can get going just a little bit quicker if this one's paying attention. There we go. I was just about ready to tap on the horn. See, I mean, we're heavy. 80,000 pounds. We're heavy. But fourth gear just is not the proper gear to start out from a stop with 80,000 pounds. So we got going a little better there with third gear. Second gear might even be better on the flat, but just don't know why it defaults to fourth gear to pull out from a stop under load. So not a lot to talk about here other than idiosyncrasies of the truck. No traffic, not much in the way of pedestrians. Mr. Snap-on here, they're gonna turn right in front of me, but other than that, not much was going on in town. So they're gonna climb the hometown hill here. And then the mile hill, the bumpy mile hill up to 81, and then 81 the rest of the way to Hazleton. All right, so the sun is trying to come out down here. Well, up here, or up on Interstate 81, but we're south of Hazleton. The sun trying to come out here, but if you look up there to the north, it looks pretty dark and overcast and almost threatening. So I don't know which way the clouds are moving today, if they're moving from north to south or south to north or from west to east, but I guess we're going to be in and out of clouds today, and I guess there is a chance of some showers here and there, so not exactly sure what we're going to get today weather-wise, which is why I erred on the side of caution with dressing for cooler weather. I can always remove the thermal undershirt if it stays sunny, we don't get rain and it warms up. We will see. Alright, so we're here unloading the first one, and the other guy is running today. He was running yesterday too, so we both had the exact same thing. So he's got 2 more loads to go, and then I'll be running it by myself the rest of the day. So they're using some water up here to have 2 trucks running full shifts. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. And I will tell you, it is much cooler up here than it was down there in Tamacqua. Probably about 10 degrees cooler. So erring on the side of caution was a good thing, because what I'm wearing right now is just about right. I don't need any more, but I definitely needed the long sleeve, or I'd be putting my jacket on and off all day. So unless the sun comes out, right now it's pretty gray and overcast. It almost feels like we may get one of those rain showers, because the breeze, and it is breezy up here, has a cool feel to it, like somewhere it's raining. So, but anyway, we're unloading this one, and then we're gonna head up there to the Hazelton well and load, and he may still be there when we get there. That's how it was working out yesterday, so we'll see. Alright, so empty with that first one, and now we're going to head up to the Hazelton well. As I told you, from here on the rest of the day, we're going to head northbound up 81, one exit to 93, and get off there, and then go back through the woods to get to the well. So, like I said, not a lot of scenic running today, and not a lot of seat time. It only takes about 15 minutes to go from one to the other, as I told you. So it's kind of hard to do videos when I get this particular assignment, but I hadn't shot for a while, so I figured I'd bring them out and talk to you guys a little bit and see what kind of video we can make up today. It's not the worst run in the world, but I think I've mentioned a few times how repetition sometimes gets to me a little bit, and this gets a little repetitive. 6 total loads for me, 1 out of Tamacqua, 5 out of Hazleton up here, just running the same route. But at least I don't have it as bad as a friend of mine. He drives a triaxle, and all he does is about a 7-mile trip from loading fly ash to dumping fly ash, and he does 13 rounds a day. The same trip. 7 miles loaded, 7 miles empty. And of course, with a triaxle dump, it only takes, once you get set up where you're going to dump, it only takes a few minutes to unload it. Here it takes a half hour to unload the tank. So he can turn 13 of them in a day, and that's what expected. So, and he's told me, I mean, he makes good money on it, so he's not going anywhere, but he said by about the 9th, 10th load, he's kind of like, are we done yet? Or, you know, it just gets monotonous, I guess. I can only imagine. I don't know if I could do it. I really don't. It'd be kind of rough. So. But one exit, we get on back there, and we get off up here. It looks like they got construction down the bottom of the hill. They did yesterday too. It didn't infect us with a traffic jam, but there was a Care Bear that was sitting right in the gore point of this exit up here, because I guess going down the hill the traffic was coming to a stop. See if he's here today. Nah, he's not here yet. He may come out later if traffic starts jamming up, or maybe he's down further. They usually like to set up about a half a mile before the traffic starts slowing down. So. But anyway, here we are. Like I said, one exit and off again. Don't know where we are in this light cycle. This is a long light. If you catch it when it turns red, you're going to be here for a good 5 minutes. I don't know where we are in the light cycle. It's still green for 93. Seeing as there was only one car here, it probably changed not too long ago, so we're going to sit here for a while. All right, loaded and leaving, and I didn't get a chance to talk to you guys because the caretaker of the well came in here and he checks things out, and then he goes up top and checks things out, and so I was talking to him a little bit, so I didn't get to do a little selfie segment for you like I usually do. So but we are rolling on out of here and take this turn slow. Let's see if we kick up dust. We're probably gonna kick up dust. Had it rained for a while, everything is dried out and dusty. We are kicking up some dust, and we're only doing 5 miles an hour and we're kicking up the dust. And that's one of the reasons why it's so hard to keep these trailers clean. We have service that comes in every other week and washes the trucks and trailers in the warm season. But you get on these dusty well roads, or muddy, depending on whether we got rain or not. And it's hard to keep the trailers clean, especially with the dust, because you got a cloud of dust that you're driving through and tailing you down the hill here. And so the trailers get dirty, and you know, we wash the tractors ourselves in between the other washings, but to wash a trailer by hand with a 12-inch brush or an 8-inch brush is a real bear. So we don't usually wash the trailers. When we do a personal truck wash, we wash our tractors and not the trailers. So that's how it works. That's why the trailers sometimes look dirty. It's not really that they're dirty. They just get full of dust from going up and down these roads. And not much you can do about it. So, especially in a shared truck, because by the time you get back and finish your shift, the other one's there and ready to go. So there isn't really a lot of time to wash the truck. I mean, we do. It only takes about an hour to wash a tractor, but it takes good 3.5 hours to wash a truck and a trailer, because I've done it a few times. And it is a bear, let me tell you. So, but anyway. We're headed back. The other guy was leaving right when I got here, so I was able to get right on and start loading right away. So maybe we'll get a little ahead of yesterday's schedule as long as it keeps working out like that. But all right, so we are headed out the back road here to get our last load of the day. Gonna go through this cool little village up here. We gotta go through this village and then come out the other side and back into the bush for a while, and then we'll get to the well. Kind of a neat, quiet little place here. The only problem is it's just too cold up here. but I'm sure it's kind of a quiet, safe, comfortable place to live. Small little village here, right along the main drag. You got some truck traffic going through here. It's water haulers, and I think Bureau's septic tank is back here somewhere, and so there's some truck traffic, but otherwise we're probably a quiet little community here. But we're heading back to get that last one. I see some bugs on the windshield, so I don't know how much they're interfering with the video or not. 'Tis the season. We went from salt spray to bug splats, so I'm gonna have to soon start cleaning the window at the end of my shift, and hopefully she does the same thing. It returns the favor. All right, here we are. Nobody's here. Back right on, get started. Just gotta watch this little mud hole here and kind of stay to the left of it. Otherwise, I'll have to lock the tandems in because I'll break traction. It's just deep enough to lift the drives up off the ground. Go. At night it's harder. You can't see that thing that well. Back on here. Gotta open the door. Half the fuel tank. Half the fuel tank is where I spot to make sure that the hose hits the truck. Split the fuel tank in half with the concrete and the dirt, and I'm right where I need to be. All right, so we're here loading the 6th and last one of the day. 1 out of Tamacqua, 5 out of here. And once this is done loading, then we take it back to the plant. We'll talk to you back at the plant, and we'll talk to you going down the hill, going through Tamacqua, somewhere along the way back to the shop. Hopefully it'll be like yesterday. We only used 1/8 of a tank of fuel yesterday, so she had 7/8 to work with last night, so there was no need to go in there and top off for her. And probably be about the same tonight, hopefully. Save me a little bit of time, and she'll still have plenty of fuel to run her shift. But it's windy up here. I don't know if the microphone is picking up on some of that wind. This is Hazelton. It doesn't matter if it's 75 degrees or it's 25 degrees. It's always going to be windy up here. It's just where it sits in the elevation. It's like in some kind of a middle jet stream, and it's always windy up here. It can be dead calm anywhere else, but it will be windy up here. But anyway, we're loading up. Once she's done, we're gonna button her up and head on over to the plant. All right, so we are back. Last one to deliver, and it looks like I'll be able to hook it to the right, swing it to the left, and push it straight back onto the pad. Sometimes these cars parked over there to the left, sometimes they park in our way. I mean, it's not really in our way, but it's in our way. If they park where I'm gonna like swing this now, then I have to go and bang a U-ey and back in here like I was backing into a loading dock with a van. But when there's no car parked here, I can nose her right up to the curb and push her straight back. Now, of course, now I'm gonna have to wiggle it around a little bit. I guess because I was talking to you and I distracted myself. But still, it's still easier than doing the flip and then backing it in like a van trailer. See, all I had to do was a couple of turns. That's it. And we're gonna be lined up perfectly for it. One shot. Whenever I gotta do the flip and then back in like I have a van, I usually have to pull up and reposition once. Now let's see, tires go in a certain place, and then I know the hose hooks up. There we go. We're in. All right, so we're here unloading the last one. It should take about another 15-20 minutes, and we should be out of here. Unload's a little slower here than at the other plants. This one's close to a half-hour unload, kind of like the plant over there by the Allentown Airport. That one takes a half hour too. Reading, Fogelsville, those take 20 minutes to unload. So these are a little bit slower with their pumps, but still, we'll get out of here in decent time. It sure beats sitting for 4 or 5 hours waiting to get a van trailer unloaded. So I don't know, in this white container here, I don't know what it is. It's some kind of generator, but it just fired up, so now it's making noise. So we'll just talk to you on the way back home. All right, so we're done with that load. It's delivered. We're empty. We're heading back home. Well, headed back to the shop before we head back home. So finishing off the last mile of 81 here, and I don't know why every time I get to this point, I get behind somebody that won't do the speed limit. This guy is doing less than 55 miles an hour. Why, I don't know, but he's going so slow. I didn't have a chance to pass him because everybody was coming up that left lane, but he's probably getting off here, but he's slowed down like a mile before the exit. This is why I stopped recording. Number one, I don't feel good anymore because my blood levels are off and my thyroid levels are off, and I've just been feeling so fatigued and so tired and so drained. And it's a struggle to get up in the morning. It's a struggle to come to work. It's a struggle to get through the day. I don't know. I gotta get my thyroid levels. The doctor did up them, but it doesn't seem to be doing much good. I don't know how much higher we can go, but so far 2.5 weeks in, and it hasn't really helped out any. But I'm also with the thyroid being out of whack, it makes you depressed and it makes you edgy. And as you just saw there, I just got quite a bit edgy. And this is why I stopped doing the videos. I wasn't going to bring the camera out today, but I just figured I'd try, and it just didn't really go all that well. Like I told you, the Hazelton run is not really a good run for video work anyway, and not feeling the best isn't helping. So if I put this one up on YouTube, and that's a big if, I don't know when my next one is going to be. I got to get myself feeling better before I can actually try to do these videos. I'm really struggling for content and what to show you guys and everything else. And I'm not the kind of guy to talk about my past and my history. And I know some people want to know how I got my CDL, why I got my CDL. To put it in a nutshell, I didn't like school. So I graduated high school, did not want to go to college. Ended up working on a golf course. Cool job, but not a way to make a living. So when I turned 21, I went out and I got my CDL and been driving a truck or a bus or something in one way, shape, or form ever since. But anyway, just got off the freeway, used the connector ramp to get over here to 309. Now we got to pull off in this little brake check here before we go down the hill.